So you end up with two little bits of wood, right? One with hole in it as the exhaust hole, and the other one with the spoon hole. Right? Well, usually you can take most of it off. That's it. Then you want some sandpaper. Where's my other trusty assistant?
So what grade would you use?
I wouldn't use anything less than 120 excess water. We got some kitchen roll or something somewhere. Well, there's some blue paper I saw out there. If someone could get that from me. That one comes away nice and easily. If you're using a chisel, obviously be careful not only of your fingers, I don't need to tell you that, but he says, yeah, I'll slice mine off now, but try not to snag the wood and damage it. But the hot glue goes basically sort of gooey and falls apart pretty readily. So you see how easy that was to clean up. So we just wipe that round, and a better bit of sandpaper than this would be good. But don't be tempted to do that. Put it flat on the deck, you know, and then try and keep it square, and just the minimum to take the residue glue off. And that is then ready for leathering. Likewise,
And it doesn't matter which way around the two pieces go then?
no, well, that one
One's
does.
got the spoon end in.
The spoon end is the
That
hinge.
goes to the same end then?
That's the hinge end, but otherwise it, you know.
No, that's yeah.
Oh, you mean which upside down or whatever?
But the other piece is symmetrical then, is it?
Yes, the hole is usually bored in the centre, yeah. But as I say, the important thing is to make that hole up with the hole in the chest, the exhaust hole. But on this one, you've got, in case anybody missed it earlier, when I knocked these off, the traditional usual thing is a piece of paper, and blotting paper works well, which is why we've got some, to stick onto the bottom side of the motor before gluing it back. A twofold reason for that. One is it helps with getting a nice flat smooth surface, so when the glue goes on you know, you've got air tightness pretty well guaranteed, as long as the inside face of the chest it has been sanded off a little bit and is, you know, is smooth. But the other one is that you can get it apart easily. When you knock it off, it's largely the blotting paper that shears, as well as some of the glue, and not the wood, because obviously if the wood splinters off, then you know, you don't really want to end up sort of having to use wood filler and fart about with all that to do it. If you did find that any part of these is already damaged, or you managed to damage it yourself, it's not the end of the world. They're only bits of wood. Just find something
Turn it upside down.
Yeah, you could turn it upside down if it. Yeah, but I mean if it was split. Occasionally I've come across these that are literally cracked, you know, down.
I'm sure you have the ability to
I'm
make.
sure you have the ability to knock up a bit of wood with a hole in it. It's just. Now, obviously, this one I'm having to get properly wet, but.
Has anybody felt that water to feel how hot it's got to be?
It could do with being. That's a sort of minimum heat. That's about.
82.5.
Okay, fine.
But you see how easily the hot glue comes off anyway. So I mean, how many of you? Okay. So that goes. I don't know which way around that originally went, and it doesn't matter because the hole's right in the middle. That there, and that's that. So we said 1.25 inches, did we not?
For a minute.
For the opening. Right. 5 inches. The next thing I could do with you. And then 1.25 inches wide. So that's 2.5 inches for the two ends, but then we need an overlap, which I usually do as half one of those. I mean, half an inch overlap would be fine. So add another half to that, so that's 8. Yeah. Agreed on the maths. Thank you. So we need a strip 8 by 1 1/4. I need to complain to the management about the pencil. I'm not doing very well. A strip of leather that by that. Yeah, you agree?
Yeah. I didn't know you had to be a mathematician to do this as well.
Knock it all over. So this is one particular type of organ builder's leather. We're using leather rather than any sort of rubber cloth stuff because it's basically the traditional known good stuff. You'll see it's pretty thin, but it is very strong. Yeah?
What leather is that?
This is it sheep, this stuff?
It's Skivers. It's
Yeah.
Skive. Yeah, it is sheep, yeah. Hold it up to the light, chap, see where the holes are. Don't use the bit with the hole
Well,
in it.
then you might, it's worth checking that you might find the odd pinprick in it, and you've got to be a little bit.
It's where they've had an argument with the
Barbed wire.
Yes.
well, normally the fence. Normally the barbed wire. Yes. Yes, exactly that.
So we need to be looking at. Now you notice also around the edges, it's often sort of crinkled up, which is not quite ideal, although it can be stretched out Well, actually, one thing you don't want to do is stretch it. You need to lay it flat and let it form its own flatness, as it were, so that it's comfortable. I'm just speaking a bit of random. What did I say? 8 by 1 1/2.
Yeah.
So we need a flat side. So what about 8? It's not very big, is it? So try not to take a bit that wastes too much. I'm just trying to find a sort of nice. That'll do. There, we'll go off of that. Okay, so I'm going to use my trusty scalpel. To use the cutting mats.
Can't be extended, can you?
No.
I'm sure you guys probably find better ways of doing this than me, as I'm trying to do it in a hurry. So 1 1/4, donk. 1 1/4. Can't see down these days. And hello. Now, you may well find, those of you that have tried them, where's the bloody end? Cutting wheels are good for leather. You go to a craft shop and ask for a wheel cutter.
Dressmakers, is it a dressmaker?
Yeah, possibly. But they're used in craft. Yeah,
And they come from Amazon as well.
They go really nicely through leather. I meant to bring mine, of course, but typically I forgot. Where's the?
They use them a lot on the
They're
sewing
really
bee.
good.
They use them a lot in the sewing bee.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, gentlemen, on Amazon you can buy the spare sets of wheels, cutting wheels, and if you get the right one, if any of you are like me and left-handed, you can put the wheel on the other side.
Right. So again, do a batch. Either do 70 of them, or for a whole chest, or at least a decent number.
Surely they've got to be,
in one go.
the leather has got to be sized according to the motor.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
so you couldn't do 70 in that.
No, that's very true. Not all of the same.
No.
No, absolutely. Stick that on a bit of deal with it. Right. So there we have one little bit of leather. And notice it's got a flat, smooth side and a suede side. Yeah, it's the suede side we are sticking to the wood, right? Not the other side. Right? So that's the hinge end.